What's up, guys? This is going to be a video about my future plans for a Windows XP build. And I kind of need your help inside this build because I don't have all the parts. And I'm based inside the UK. If you can help, please let me know. That'd be wonderful. And if you just want to give your opinion on this, that'd be great as well. Now, I started building PCs in 2006, 2007. And YouTube was still inside its early stages then. People mainly posted their videos about their PCs, the specs. They didn't really post about them building them very much. You'd have the occasional guide, like I use 3D Gamer Man's guide or kick-ass build to actually give me ideas of how to build a PC and what steps to use. But anyway, there was one YouTuber from a dead channel now called maxishine. I think I've mentioned him in some of my videos before. And I want to recreate his PC build. Unfortunately, there are a few parts which are elusive to me. I've got a lot of them here, and I'm even going to be doing a few minor tweaks and upgrades. Literally very, very small tweaks and upgrades. So let's go over the parts. Number one was a 680i motherboard. Now, I'm very tempted to use this BFG board. It's very nice. This is the only BFG board I've actually seen which is functional. I've seen a few dead ones on eBay, but this one is fully functional and should allow me to do SLI with the graphic cards I want to do. I mean, this one's a 50-50 in my mind to use. The only thing I don't like about this board is that it's got all the old type of caps. And I'm pretty sure that at some point this may go bad, and I'd rather not have to recap the whole board. Here's the board which maxishine actually used, which is a Striker Extreme. He did say that this board was a bit flaky for him, which that's quite unfortunate, but this, I'm guessing he got the first batch of them. This is from 2007, and if you look at the board, in very good condition. All solid state capacitors, no polyolympic. I can't say the word. The old type of capacitor. Anyway, I recently did some research on the age of the system which this board came out of, when it comes to use. I discovered this board has less than 3 months of use on it. This board is pretty much brand new, which is quite lucky for me because this would have been one of the hardest parts to track down. But I will go into a bit more about that afterwards. So I do want to use this board. Let's go into CPU next because I've got a few choices. So these are my choices right here. Now, this is what he used. No, this is what he used, sorry. This is the QX6700, a 2.6 GHz quad core. This is the original Core 2 Extreme. I do have 4 more to choose from. Now, I do have the QX6800, which is right here, which is very rare. I don't really see that very often. That is the one which is came out just before the QX6850, which I have 2 of, which is always fun. And then my most powerful, which is my QX9650. Now, the funny thing is about these CPUs, I didn't actually pay that much for these. I paid £20 for this original processor about 5-6 years ago, and it just stayed in my collection. This one I got off Facebook Marketplace for a £5. These came out of systems, that came out of a system which I was just parting out, and it just happened to be a pleasant surprise that they happened to be Core 2 Extremes. Let's go to RAM, which is this one here, which is something I need help with. You see there's only one stick of this RAM. maxishine had 2 of these, and I could only be able to find one in about 10 years. I'm not even joking. I mean, I don't check eBay every day, but I regularly check and see if anything comes up, and even looking at past sold records on eBay, they just don't appear. And it's just a pain in my bum, if I'm being honest, because I do want to use the XMS 2s Pros because that's what he had. I do have these OCZ Platinum RAM, which is like the best which OCZ had at the time. This is pretty much the same. Actually, this is better than the XMS RAM. And then I got some Tracer Ballistics, which is a hell of a lot better. Still gives me the LEDs and everything else, but I have so much of that. I have 6 sticks of it. So if 2 of them go wrong, I've got 2 sets of spares. Now let's go over storage. Storage is where I'm going to break the build a little bit because he had 8 of these. One of those, which is a Raptor, 150 gig Raptor, and another 400 gig drive. But I am not doing that inside a system because we have better solutions now. And that would just be a lot of energy just on hard drives. That just isn't going to work for me. So I will keep the original Raptor. I may even put one of these in, but there's no need for me to put in 8 of these, so that, what was it? He had 3 terabytes, I think, or something like that. It's just not worth it, and I could always use this 500 gig Raptor drive here. I do have a few of these. I have 4 of these in total I could use. This one here is the one which is actually not inside a system right now. Does have a few issues with this little drive though. Was it Crystal Mark? I can't remember now. It says that it's got some bad sectors. So I've done a check. 0.02% of the sectors on this thing are bad. So this thing is starting to fail, but very slow. But it won't be an issue for me. Now let's talk about graphic cards. If it was me and I was choosing 8800s, it would have been these BFG monsters. First of all, these are both overclocked editions of the cards. I'm pretty sure BFG's cards are always overclocked, so, you know, no big shock there. But they just look great with Migraine Man there. And with the BFG motherboard as well, I think I would be using them if it was me making the choice. However, maxishine used 2 of these. So there we go, 2 of them. So here's the thing, right? One of the missing parts, which I'll skip to now so I can explain my plan, is the case. It's the Lian Li V2000, and that case is extremely elusive to me. I can't find one. I know it comes in 2 colors. I know there's been a few revisions. I can find Antec 900s for days. I can even find other Lian Li older cases, but the V2000 just seems to be a very rare case. I'm hoping to find one in the next 6 months to a year. That's why this build is so delayed. And my plan is, if I get a black one, I'll be used to BFGs with the BFG motherboard over there. Don't worry, it's on top of bubble wrap, so it's fine. If it's a silver build, which will make it more maxi shiny, because he had a silver one, then I will be using the striker, which is over there, right there. And power supply. Again, using this power supply was not a great idea. It's 17 years old, but again, it came with the striker, so I know it's got 3 months worth of use. I have used a power supply tester on it. I may actually put this onto another system for a little while, maybe a week, and leave the system running every day with parts which are disposable, I guess, and see what happens. Because I really don't want to risk my striker unless I have to. It's a very, very rare part. It's the rarest part I have out of all these. I mean, the Core 2 Extremes, you know, I've got the 6800, the QX 6800 is the rarest Core 2 Extreme I have. Mind you, random tangent here, guys. The dual core Core 2 Extreme, I've only seen that on eBay twice, ever. And that's just a real shame, because I'd love to have one of them just for the sake of having it, not to actually use it for anything practical. Mind you, if I was building the ultimate 8800 system, I'd probably use them. I'd probably use the 2 Grainwoods or 1 single BFG card. Ah, God. So that is the build at the moment. And, oh, one last thing. maxishine had water cooling inside his Lian Li. I think that's the reason why he bought it. That and his 10 hard drives, which I won't be using on the hard drive space. Although I may fill them up with... It may be a good spot to put all my old hard drives into, which I don't use. So just to plug... I won't plug them in or power them. I'll just put them into the case. But yeah, I'll use an AIO, which I'll try to find one. I'll try to find one which will work with socket 775, see how it cools the CPU, and I don't know if I'll do an overclock because he had it overclocked to 3.4, which is quite a conservative number for them. I know that a lot of Q6600s got to that quite easily. I do have a lot of thoughts with the system which I could upgrade. For example, I could put in a 790i motherboard. That'll be a massive upgrade. But it's no longer DDR2. It's no longer within the same year as 2007. And I think it will lose the soul of the build. Oh, and also I'm going to put this creative Fatality sound card inside it, because I think it would just be a good addition. He didn't have one of these to my knowledge. I think he just used this, but I'll just put both in. I'm sure there won't be any issues for that. And I'll still use the Raptor with 150 gig Raptor as the main drive. I'll probably plug one of these in just to install games. Or that to install games. I don't know. So guys, if you can help me, or if you have any comments about the build, the thought, then you let me know. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on it. And if you guys watched maxishine, please let me know into the comments too, because that'd be quite interesting. Anyway, thank you for your input. Appreciate it. Take care of yourselves.